When the cold hits, it doesn't play favourites. A frost that dips below single digits can turn even the most modern, insulated greenhouse or workshop into a frozen wasteland. You could buy every high-tech heater on the market, spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and still struggle to keep a large space warm. But what if I told you that with a simple setup, using items you can find at your local hardware and garden store, you could heat a space of over 200 square feet efficiently, safely, and for hours on end? Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Before we dive into this, make sure you hit that like button, share this video with your friends who love survival history, comment down below with your thoughts or questions, and subscribe to Warfront Survival for more in-depth, practical survival guides. The foundation of this heater is simplicity combined with a deep understanding of how heat moves and how fuel burns. We're not talking about a small tabletop alcohol burner or a cheap ceramic heater. This is a device designed to radiate massive heat, spread it efficiently across a large room, and burn fuel cleanly without wasting energy. It's something that would have made even frontier settlers nod with approval. The first piece of the puzzle is a paint can. Not just any paint can will do. You need one that is completely clean and free of chemical linings. Most store-bought cans today are sprayed with protective linings that, when heated, can release toxic fumes. This is a risk you cannot take indoors. The best cans are completely unused, metal-only containers with no chemical history. The size depends on how large a heater you want, but for a greenhouse-size space, a standard 5-gallon can works perfectly. Once you have your can, it's time to think about the burn medium. This is where, many small heaters fall short. They burn fuel too quickly and unevenly. Using perlite, which is a lightweight material commonly found in gardening supply stores, allows you to regulate the burn. Perlite is full of tiny air pockets which slow the fuel's evaporation and extend the burn time dramatically. Unlike sand, which also works but can dampen flame intensity, perlite provides both insulation and an airflow path for the heat to move efficiently. Wash it if you want to minimize dust, but even raw perlite works well. Now, next up, we introduce the secret weapon, stainless steel mesh. This mesh, it will act as a radiant heat surface. By inserting it fully into the perlite-filled can, you create a structure that heats evenly and radiates warmth, rather than just relying on those rising flames. The mesh also prevents large fuel splashes and, ensures the burn is stable, even when you're working with significant volumes of fuel. The goal here is to maximize the surface area exposed to the heat, allowing the device to act almost like a furnace. Fuel selection is honestly critical. Denatured alcohol is ideal. It burns clean, odorless, and smokeless, which makes it perfect for enclosed spaces. Kerosene, specifically K1 kerosene, is also a great option if handled correctly. So, just a heads up, you'll want to avoid using standard rubbing alcohol for extended periods. Sure, it works in a pinch, but it doesn't burn as efficiently, and honestly, it gives off more odor than you'd probably like. When it comes time to fill your can, take it slow and steady. Use a small transfer pump to help prevent any spills or accidents. Never, and I mean never, refuel while the heater is still hot. Always let it cool down completely before you do anything else. When you're ready to handle the mesh or the lid, make sure you're wearing a thick, heat-resistant glove. Trust me, your hands will thank you. Here's where this heater really goes from just functional to downright exceptional. You see, heat naturally rises, so without any movement, all that nice warmth just hangs out near the ceiling. That's exactly where a thermo-electric fan comes in handy. It helps move that heat around, making your space a whole lot more comfortable. So, this fan doesn't need electricity. It actually converts heat from the base into rotational energy, moving warm air across the room. Place it atop the heated can, just slightly adjusted for maximum airflow. The difference is, honestly, staggering. Heat moves evenly, and the room feels, uniformly warm, not just hot at the top and cold at the floor. When lighting, a long torch lighter is definitely your safest bet. The flame can surge pretty quickly when igniting alcohol, and, well, matches are just too short and unpredictable. Once lit, the heat will build, the mesh will glow, and the fan will kick in. The burn can last anywhere from 8 to 10 hours, depending on fuel volume and perlite distribution. Monitoring the flame is important. Even with clean burning fuel, you'll want a carbon monoxide detector nearby and a small fire extinguisher within reach, just in case. If you want to extend burn time further, adjust the perlite to fuel ratio. More perlite slows the fuel consumption while still allowing efficient heat radiation. Always keep the heater off flammable surfaces and, use a sturdy metal plate or some kind of heat-resistant barrier. Also, make sure to store any excess fuel safely away from the heat source. With proper precautions, this heater can really be an indispensable tool for anyone maintaining larger indoor spaces during extreme cold, whether that's a greenhouse, a workshop, or maybe even an outbuilding. This heater is more than just a survival tool. It's, a practical lesson in understanding heat, fuel, and airflow. A combination our ancestors truly mastered out of necessity, and that modern survivalists can still apply today. By using simple materials and smart design, you get warmth, safety and efficiency, all while learning how to control the elements yourself. So, if you found this guide valuable, hit that like button, share it with fellow history and survival enthusiasts, comment with any questions or improvements you've tried, and make sure you subscribe to Warfront Survival. We're building a community of people who respect history, value practical knowledge, and are ready to apply it today. Every share, comment, and subscription helps us continue bringing these detailed, hands-on survival solutions directly to you. Stay warm, stay safe, and keep surviving.